Zambia.
Good morning. Good morning.
A brand new morning experience is coming your way. Introducing the Power Breakfast, where the queens of breakfast serve up the hottest conversations, freshest hits, and everything you need to start your day right. Catch the Queens of Breakfast every weekday from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Power FM and Beats TV. And no, this isn't an April Fool's joke. It all begins April 1st. Power up your mornings with the Power Breakfast.
Power Breakfast.
Cloudy. Sunrise within Nsaka today was at 6:13, while sunset can be expected at 18:03. And if you're traveling to Harare, the current temperature is 20 degrees Celsius. It is also quite sunny as well there, with cloud cover of 6%, while expected temperature highs are 27 degrees Celsius, with some variable cloudiness this afternoon, with a couple of showers or even a thunderstorm or two. But you can expect 3 hours of rainfall throughout your afternoon. And during the nighttime, you can expect temperature lows of 17 degrees Celsius, with a thunderstorm in certain spots this evening. Otherwise, it will be partly cloudy with at least an hour of rainfall. Sunrise within Harare was at 6:04, while sunset can be expected at 17:50. Within Samfya in Nwapola, the current temperature is 19 degrees Celsius. It is partly sunny there as well, with wind blowing southeast at 8 kilometers per hour and humidity at 85%. Our cloud cover is slightly increased, sitting at 37%. Expected temperature highs are 31 degrees Celsius, where you shall have some spells of brilliant sunshine this afternoon, while at night temperatures will drop to 17 degrees Celsius with a clear night sky as well. Sunrise within Samfya was at 6:07, while sunset can be expected at 18:01.
Today's Power Weather Update. Catch the Power Breakfast Monday to Friday, 6 to 10 a.m.
Minister of Enjoyment. It's a continental. Monumental. Good.
Power Breakfast.
I feel good. That's how I'm feeling.
Power Breakfast.
Baby, can you feel it? Yeah.
Shekinah and Fortress, the queens of breakfast. Today's hottest hits with power. Power FM. 91.3 FM.
They want me to be better, but no better than them. They want me to be fresher, but no fresher than them. Fake love. They want me to be fresher, but no fresher than them. They want me to be better, but no better than them. Fake love, no.
I don't care.
Somebody give me that, give me that.
91.3 FM.
Somebody give me that, give me that.
Power FM Nsaka is your #1 hit station. We bring you the best content Zambia and the continent have to offer. We offer competitive rates to help you grow your business and brand both locally and internationally. Contact marketing on +260 961 690 486. Elevate your business. Power 91.3 FM Nsaka, your #1 hit station. Wake up to the best in music, news, entertainment with Power Breakfast, your favorite weekday morning show on Power 91.3 FM, Beats TV, Channel 92 on Topstar, and live on Facebook.
Broadcasting live in digital HD radio from the Powerhouse in Nsaka. Feel the power. 91.3 FM. A new source of energy has arrived in your town. Power 91.3 FM. 91.3 FM.
91.3 FM.
Where magic is born and stars align.
If I ever leave you, make I cry. But you know, dear, be why. I dey wait for your gate. I dey knock on your door. You be head of my state. I be your governor. Make you run up your way.
Rich bro.
Allez, Fatamoson.
Dusty.
Allez, Itetesh.
Kelvin Pambongi.
Allez, Timba Life.
Can Weasel.
Honey.
Krista Brown Coco. Cherry. Chemo. 1, 2, 3, fire. Malama Dreadlock Banjo. Bill Isaac Banjo. Exabro. Roy G. People of Luapula. Zambia. Jack Sparrow. Veronica Mwanza. Bill Isaac Sam Gunde.
Mama,
Ziandondwa. Malama Dreadlocks. Wanana FM Bass Magodi.
Mr. Sidney Chiaba is the Democratic National Party leader. Tell us a bit about your party. First things first.
So, Democratic National Party, as the word says, national, it's a party that believes in equity and equality of all tribes in the country. It's a national party, means it's a party for the whole country. Our vision is accelerated development for economic realization of all Zambians, liberate and transform Zambia into developed and self-reliant country. Our end goal or end deliverable, once we form government, is total economic independence for Zambia and Zambian people. Our symbol is a plate with food. This is a symbol that is adopted from United Nations Sustainable Development Goals of no hunger. So this is a bit about Democratic National Party. The party started its formation around October 2021, and it was successfully registered under the Register of Societies on 26 October 2022. So
what prompted you starting the party?
What prompted us to start the party is that we have observed, especially starting from 1991 to date, that Zambia has been rotating in a cyclic rotation of impoverishment, indebtedness. So parties come, leaders come, nothing changes for the common people. Majority of our people, around 80% of Zambia's population, they're in abject poverty, and the population is increasing. No practical solution. We've seen leaders who just come for their personal growth, and once they leave, the way they find people is the way the people, and they continue to suffer more. So I said that no, let's come up with a party that can help the poor, the people, and the country, basically to give back. Because again, what we've observed is that a lot of technocrats and professionals are not involved in governance in this country, because politics has been dominated by mostly unruly people, and this is the problem that a country can never develop without technocrats. So we said, let's form a party that can have all the brains. So in our manifesto, we've got House of Technocrats. Once we form the government, we need to bring all the Zambians who've got the brains, who can contribute positively to the development of this country. We are looking at Zambia becoming a very industrialized country, not a developing country. For how many years? We have been 60 plus years of independence. We need to become self-reliant. We don't depend on the donor. Yes, we can receive gifts, but we should not depend on them. Also developed in terms of industrialization, where unemployment ends, because unemployment fails to end. I, for one, have grown up here. I remember in time of Kaunda time, a lot of industries were working and people were working. But when privatization came and these leaders who come, there's nothing that they do to ensure that there's decent life. The cost of living is going up. Our food basket is around 10,800 kwacha. Very few people in that money can even afford. So the poor is just forever. So we said we should have a party that can end these problems, and this is Democratic National Party. That's how we came in, because we assessed, and there's no leaders who show that anger, that zeal.
Okay. Now, Mr. Chiaba, I would love to pose this question. You have touched on the issue of industrialization, and you have said it was better back in the days. So do you think we need to bring it back, or we need to do something different?
So industrialization we need to bring back. I believe that the privatization that happened in MMD time it was not a proper privatization. There was no consideration to the welfare of the people. They didn't look at population will be growing, and these foreign investors, which they cry on even now. There's a lot of cry for foreign investors, everything foreign investor. So foreign investors, they are just coming here to look for money, to make money. If they work with one person, for them it's good. As far as they can make the money, their target. It's the responsibility of Zambian government to create decent jobs. So what we're talking about is PPP, Zambian government and indigenous Zambians. You know, Zambia have got about 72 to 73 tribes. These are the people who are supposed to be the major player in the economy, by ensuring that you've got sovereign wealth fund, the money ready for any project, ensuring that all these small businesses, SMEs, they receive necessary business training and free grants. You can never start a business with a borrowed money. You start with a business with a free grant so that you can grow. After you grow, you've got the capacity for the cash flow. That's when you can borrow money to reinforce your expansion, your growth. So these are some of the changes that the Democratic National Party is bringing through our manifesto, our transformation agenda for the country.
You mentioned PPP. So are you in support with of a PPP kind of arrangement?
The current PPP were not in support because
why?
It's in foreigners who are empowered. The Zambian government versus a foreigner. Democratic National Party is saying we empower our local Zambians through business skills, through free startup capitals, through benchmarking with countries where they heavily industrialize. Zambia can learn from Germany, can learn from Japan about industrialization. This is what we need, Zambians. Zambians should be the major economic player, as opposed, if you look in manufacturing, Zambians, maybe they are less than 5% who are in manufacturing. It's foreigners. And when foreigners make money, they take back their wealth to their country. They go and develop their country. A Zambian, when he makes money, he will develop his country. He will venture maybe in agriculture or real estate or what. It's development, which means the money lives in our economy, and it's our economy, because you can only have a better economy when your people are productive in terms of productivity and service. But if you have got people who are just in formal sector, merchandising, the majority of the people are merchandising, they're not contributing to the economic growth of this country. And foreigners will not grow your economy, because foreigners, they'll come with money to invest. They invest $1, get $10, take to their country. A Zambian will invest and make money, and it expands here. So even if he exports somewhere, the money will come back to Zambia, and that is forex. It will mean we're going to have more money. So this is the direction of Democratic National Party. It's total economic independence for Zambia and Zambian people. We believe that when Zambians are economically independent, because that's what we have been lacking. The gap is about economic independence. The independence that we got in 1964 was purely to govern ourselves. Economically, we are not independent. We are still crying for investors, foreign investors to come. We should be partnering or Zambians only having that knowledge. If there's a knowledge gap, we can partner on win-win deal, which is 50-50, which makes it good.
Okay. Let's now dive into the Constituency Development Fund and the implementation that the government has gone about it. Are you in support of it?
No, we're not supported, because CDF1, the amount that they say they have increased, it's on paper, it's a pronouncement. The actual,
how is it on paper?
If you go and audit, and themselves, I was reading the newspaper, Minister of Local Government was saying we dispersed 5 million. They're able to disperse 5 million. If you look at it, from 2022, 2023, 2024, 4 years, if they are funding each constituency 30 million kwacha, it means each constituency now has got 120 million.
Right.
120 million. We can see massive development in the constituencies.
Well, the issue there is that MPs are not using that money.
See.
Or if not MPs, at the constituency level, the funds are not being accessed.
No, it's the MP who appoints the Constituency Development Committee,
right,
which checks which project. So the implementation plan for CDF in this country has been long. Democratic National Party has been saying, let us come up with a CDF agency which is going to ensure that they are the sponsor for procurement, implementation, monitoring, and evaluation of the project. And the people sitting constituencies in those constituencies are professionally recruited with certain qualification like project management, so that they work with the KPIs and deliverables. Once that is done, it will mean we are going to ensure that we have got service delivered. And then CDF should be specifically for capital projects. Capital projects, I mean road network, drainage, schools, hospitals, things that are of infrastructure development. Then these other social services, Democratic National Party is saying, once we form government, we are going to ensure that we've got CEC in each constituency, we've got Ministry of Labour in each constituency, we've got bursaries in each constituency, and we've got a ministry that looks about SME and cooperatives, so that those ministries have got a budget and they support people on the ground in that, so that CDF now becomes a catalyst to development, to have social amenities. In various constituencies, they don't even have social amenities for sports, recreation facilities. They don't have even a hall. Most of the outer education and sewerage system, there's nothing. So those are the things that we should be ensuring, that a lot of settlements are not planned. For instance, Kanyama constituency, where I come, we can't even see the work of the CDF. From the 4 years the UPN is in power, they've just built one block office at Washuka Primary School, and that is what they're saying CDF is working. Out of 120 million, if you build something worth 5 or 10 million, the impact is very slow. We are looking at government that create impact. More than 80% of the population feel your impact.
But is the idea good? The idea of CDF being funded to the tune of 30 plus million?
If they are releasing the actual amount and it is impacting over 80% people, it can be good. But now they don't fund the actual 30 million.
So you are saying they're not funding?
According to their reports, they say we funded 5 million. Each constituency has been given 5 million. If we go on the ground, it's 5 million they are receiving. They are not receiving their own amount. They are paying it in installments. So if they are funding at once a go, it's going to create a lot of impact, and the implementation, the procurement and implementation, it should be not politicized, like people who are sitting in those constituencies are appointed by certain political party, because other people will not be free to go and they can't be assisted. And we have seen even most of this they give, it's people inclined to other political parties, the reports that we are getting. So we need to ensure that that is professionally done Professional redundant means the people in the constituencies, development committees, are recruited on professional, and there's an agency specifically to look at CDF implementation, as opposed to put it to councils, because councils, they delay sometimes in procurement, and councils work ethics this country is below the required standard. Yes.
Now, Mr. Chiava, you also talked about the CDF not being fully utilized in the constituency. You cited Kanyama as an example. So what do you suggest can the government do about it so that the money is availed and it's just not on paper like you said earlier?
Yes, so we expect government, if they say CDF is 30 million, they release 30 million. Once they release 30 million, they should have a project team which is professionally qualified to ensure that projects are implemented in time and delivered as expected. We expect CDF to tackle capital projects as opposed to use CDF even to start buying police vehicles. Police, they should be buying those vehicles under Minister of Home Affairs and police budget. So we expect CDF to be detached from social and concentrate on infrastructure. By doing that, it's going to create a massive impact to the people because it will help in planning settlements. Those areas where they are flooded during rain season, it's going to help that. But now, because they release in installments small amounts, the impact is very few. Maybe they are impacting about 2 to 5% of the people in each constituency, which is not acceptable. A leader is someone at least to exceed above 80%.
How can you rate the performance of the CDF itself from 1 to 10?
The performance of the CDF from 1 to 10, I think it's 2%, 2 out of 10.
But one would argue that, look, the fact that we're talking about what is not working and what is working is a good thing in itself.
Yes.
We're talking about 30 million, 120 million that has not hit the account of CDF over the last 4 years. That in itself is a good conversation.
You see, we believe in the leadership that is act. Leadership is about doing it, not always talking. Because you talk, there's no action. Even if you talk, you're just announcing something. We expect this government to be leaders who can act, and we see the impact physically. All of us should see the impact. But all of us who are living in various constituencies, do we see those impacts? We don't see them.
Okay. Sometimes money might be misappropriated or it might be misapplicated. So let's say there is a ministry that needs money and they are going to get money from another ministry to apply it to another ministry to work for something else. So we might say that that is misapplication of funds. So what are you saying? Are you saying the CDF is being misappropriated or being misapplicated?
Not even misapplicated. What I see is that there are pronouncements to say it's 30 million. On paper, it means it's written that each constituency will get 30 million. But actual implementation is not 30 million they are receiving at a go. Maybe they receive 5 million.
But that's maybe every quarter.
So we are planning to do some audit to check.
Okay.
Yes.
Have you? That should be the question. In Kanyama, where you said you're from, have you done an audit as a leader of an opposition party?
We are still assessing how much each year was being released, but we've not seen anything being done.
So you don't have actual figures?
Actual figures, one relied on the Minister of Local Government when they published, they released 5 million. Yeah, so we are, because government in this country, they're not transparent. So it's difficult to get certain information.
So are you saying the 5 million you're referring to was as of 2024? They only received 5 million kwacha out of 31 million?
2024, yes. They published, it's Minister of Local Government. They wrote in the newspaper that 5 million have been dispersed to constituencies as a CDF. We've not seen another update regarding the same, where the 25 million was raised last year.
Okay. So as a leader of the Democratic National Party, how would you put it that you're going to make sure that the CDF is fully utilized to its full potential? This
is the reason we are proposing CDF agency, a professional agency that can regulate, implement, monitor the implementation of CDF projects and recruit people sitting in Constituency Development Committee. So that now, that is their job. Yes. Council should be left managing other social things like garbage collection and ensuring that they are also involved in the wards, in ensuring that there is the integration of water, so that CDF focuses on the capital projects and their professional people doing the job, who are measured by KPIs and deliverables with timelines, because these are projects which are supposed to start and end at some point in each particular year. We need to see that progress.
All right, and let's touch on the issue of load shedding in the country. As a party leader, what solutions do you have for the country?
So for load shedding, the solution is very simple. One is to stop exporting electricity when we don't have the surplus. So surplus, I mean, if we consume 3,000 megawatts in a country, we have 3,000 megawatts we should not export, because that's what we consume. Because electricity is a catalyst to the economy. The growth of the economy lies on the electricity, fuel, and fertilizer in this country. So we need to stop export, only export a surplus. So if we make 4,000 megawatts of electricity and our capacity we consume is 3, then we can export the 1,000. That's the first measure. Second measure is diversification into solar plants. Solar plants, I'm involved in a construction of a solar plant. It does not exceed 6 months. So 6 months, you can have a solar plant. They've been in government for the past 4 years. How many solar plants they've put in place? We just had one solar plant in Chisamba. Others are still being constructed, and they are private owned. So Democratic National Party is saying energy, mining, manufacturing, agriculture, technology, these are sectors that should be Zambians dominating and impacting Zambians, because these are lucrative sectors. So what we need to do is government need to come up with solar plants. And Zambians who want to invest, indigenous Zambian, who are meaning those Zambians from 73 tribes, because these are the most vulnerable, they buy shares and they partner with the government to make up solar plants, so that the revenue that is being generated from solar plants is being distributed to Zambians. And when Zambians are getting dividend, they are being empowered. And it's very easy for that Zambian, when he's empowered, to go to the rural, so that you have rural development, to go and put up agriculture facilities. And when we've got surplus in agriculture, it means the food prices will reduce, and we can export to other countries. So those are the measures that the Democratic National Party is looking at. Then secondly, we are looking at rivers in Ruapula and northern province. We've got a lot of lakes and rivers there. We should also put up big hydro electricity to generate enough electricity. And we should ensure that we are the majority owning this energy, and the revenue are not benefiting only foreigners, benefiting Zambians and growing our economy. It's by doing that, that's when we can have a proper economy, can develop. Development cannot happen without human development. Human development is the people who are supposed to be developed into upskilling, reskilling of their skills, economic empowerment through dividends, through startup capitals, through money available for business. I can give you the Chinese concept. Chinese, they look to have money. It's government which supports them, and they give them loans where they pay 3%. So they are economically empowered by their government. So we should have a sovereign wealth fund for all Zambians who have got projects, who want to do projects which we can export a lot of goods. We need to reduce imports and export more. By doing that, we are creating an economy, and we create a lot of decent jobs in the country.
This is Voice of the People on the Power Breakfast. My name is Patrick Chifwambo. Joining the Queen of Breakfast, our fortress, our guest this morning is Mr. Sydney Chiaba, who's the Democratic National Party leader. I want to take you back a bit to your preamble on the issue of load shedding. You said we should not be exporting. I recall not too long ago hearing the ZESCO board chairperson saying, look, if ZESCO does not export power, ZESCO will collapse. And we're exporting not more than 20% of what we generate. What's your take on that?
ZESCO cannot collapse because they make money in the country. It's just that there has been a mismanagement with that company in terms of how they operate. This is the reason we're saying appointments at board level, appointments of management does not provide results. Those people, they need to be recruited professionally. given job description and targets.
Who's not being recruited professionally in your view?
The boards in this country are appointed by the minister. How can the minister appoint a board to manage a statutory company, the company that's supposed to operate and make profit? This is the problem.
Are you saying the current board is not qualified, for instance?
They are appointed. He didn't deserve to be on the position. Appointment, I can appoint someone I like. Yes. Appointment, people don't work because they are appointed. They will follow the instruction of the person who appointed. A person professionally recruited, you follow a job description. You follow his KPIs to deliver.
So
this is why the problem
are you
is.
saying that they are coerced to act a certain way and they're not acting independently?
You see, if you appoint someone, he's loyal to the person who appointed him. That's why the problem is. A professional doesn't work. It's like a company. They just, oh, that's my nephew. You bring him in your company. He will not work as a person you just employed and you pay. There's a big difference because that one says, that is my uncle. The other one say, I work here. If I lose the job, I will be fired. Yeah. So those are the differences. So ZESCO is mismanagement. We buy electricity, they make profit. We don't think the money they get locally is not enough to sustain.
Well. The other argument is that look, the tariff, the amount at which we pay to buy a kilowatt is not cost reflective.
No. It's cost reflective.
It's not. It is not. If you look at the pricing regionally, we are not cost reflective in our pricing.
The issue is that in Zambia we've got too many poor people. We can only increase if people are getting decent salaries and are working decent jobs.
Well, ZESCO can only function, for instance, if it's able to produce at the right price.
Is supplying electricity to the mines. Mines are paying them big amounts of money.
But that's a fraction of what
factories are paying. Yes. So they need to give us a proper report, how much the electricity they sell, what is their operating expenses, because we can't just be talking from without. We need to have.
But this is information that's more or less in the public domain.
No, it's not there. It's not there. They don't tell us how much electricity, at what level they collect locally from per sector, and when it comes to the people, how much they get. Yes. And most of the electricity used to be subsidized by the World Bank. ZESCO used to be given more money by World Bank. So why are they complaining? Just recently, ZESCO has been given money by European Union to construct some substation. They are not even using their money to construct substation. So why do you complain? They receive even donor funding.
And you also talked about your implementation, especially when it comes to solar panels. Don't you think it's going to take time to be actualized, looking that we are very much reliant on hydroelectric power?
No, we think a responsible leader or a responsible person in life always has got a fallback plan. So fallback plan happens like today is 2025. 10 years from today, if we've got a problem with this, where are we going to provide our contingency? What is our fallback plan? So leaders should have fallback plan. But Zambia, we've got very incompetent leaders who doesn't look at those. They don't look at. I can give you one practical example. Look at how indiscriminate the land is being sold in the country. We have seen all governments, previous government, current government, they don't do anything when it comes to indiscriminate selling of land in customary areas and in town, selling even to the foreigners owning land. Do you know what that problem will create in the future? Even after 50 years from now, the population is growing. There will be a problem with land because few people will not have land where they can cultivate. So we are the people who create poverty ourselves. The way our leaders we elect, they are very incompetent. They don't love their country. They don't love their people. They love themselves and personal growth. Because if you are a leader, you see people in indiscriminate selling of land, you should go and tell them, look, this is not good. You are a person who live in the rural areas. If you sell land, where are you going to be cultivating to find food to feed yourself and to generate living?
All right.
This is the same thing that happened to electricity. These people, they were not monitoring to say the population will grow. Let's have a fallback plan. The population is growing. Let's diversify. Let's have solar hydropower station, solar plants, wind energy, and nuclear energy in time. So that as the population is growing, the electricity consumption will go up and we need to produce more. That's what you think. Even in life, we plan like a personal life. 2 years from now, I need to have achieved this. It's supposed to be done. It's the same as in life.
But one would argue that, look, this is not an issue that we've been talking about today. This is an issue that started 20, 30 years ago. We knew that we needed to expand the capacity of ZESCO to be able to meet the current demand.
But
exacerbated by the issue of climate change, obviously, with the drought.
So drought is just an excuse because of being incompetent. A leader should plan for drought. Force majeure, a leader should plan even for fire, because force majeure happens unexpected. You're supposed to have a fallback plan. So this is incompetence of all Zambian leaders who have been governing, especially starting from 1991 to date. We've seen that there is no desire for them to act and to plan for this country. Even for fuel, we're supposed to be having crude oil reserve agency. We don't have it. So if fuel increases badly, it will mean our economy will be hammered badly. If fuel finishes, then it will mean we can't, because we don't have a fallback plan.
Speaking about a fallback plan, what is your fallback plan to make sure that we have affordable fuel for every Zambian citizen?
So my plan to have affordable fuel, one is to review where we are importing the crude oil, which taxes are applicable to the fuel now. We see that necessary. If it's necessary, we remove them. First option. Second option is to have crude oil reserve agents. We buy crude oil in bulk and we store it for future use. In case the prices of fuel goes up, we start using that fuel bought 5 years ago. It will mean we cushion the pricing. That is the second option. Third option, we need to start crude oil refinery local in the country. By doing that, it will mean we get cheaper crude oil and we make it into a finished product. That is a third option. And when it comes to procurement of fuel, we negotiate on the bilateral levels with countries where there is crude oil so that they give us at a good rate.
So we get crude oil and we're processing it from where?
We're supposed to revamp Indeni and come up with another fuel refinery.
Well, figures that talk about another refinery are talking about $5 to $6 billion to set up one. Where are we going to find the money?
No. I've got some
Please do share. Because to set up another refinery, we're talking of at least $5 billion.
Revamping Indeni refinery can't even cost more than $500 million.
Well, Indeni cannot process crude oil. That's a fact.
Yeah, we need to have machinery to process, so it can process.
What cost are we looking at to process crude oil?
So we need to get quotation or pricing from at least 3 to 4 suppliers who can provide.
We are talking of not
less.
The
Italians are very good in that.
We're talking of not less than.
Embassy.
We are talking of not less than 2-3 billion.
No.
What figures do you have in mind?
I have got some Italian consultant who came who wanted to revamp Inden.
Revamp it for it to be processing crude oil. How much are we talking about?
From their pricing, I saw between $500 million.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
That's fact.
They came. You know, we've got Italian business, whatever. Yeah.
We'll take it. We'll put you on record for that.
Okay. Now, just a little bit on the fuel. Energy Minister, Mr. Makoza Chikote, did say that there will be stability with fuel prices in 2027. And you are talking about not being enough money for the money is too much, rather, that Indeni needs to be revamped and start running.
So, Indeni used to prefer crude oil before.
Indeni, in my understanding, was set up not to process crude oil.
No. Actually, I grew up from Copper Belt. Indeni was preferred crude oil. However, the machinery is outdated. So these governments...
Mr. Chiaba, again, I'll put you on record to say Indeni, in its initial setup, was not meant to process crude oil.
What was its mandate?
Semi-processed oil, not crude.
Okay. We need to do more research on this.
Absolutely, please do. But it was not set up to process crude oil.
All right. You can be part of the conversation, 0979-192-485 or 0955-9 997 We are live on Beats TV. That is channel 92 on Topster. And joining us this morning for the Power Breakfast, we do have Mr. Sydney Chiaba, who is the leader for Democratic National Party. So you can be part of the conversation, and the phone lines are open as well. You can send in a text or a voice note as well, or you can give us a call in case you have any questions and regarding anything that has been happening in the country. We recently had the proposed constitutional amendment. That this is a discussion that we have been having in the country for a very long time. What is your take on the proposed constitutional amendment?
Our take as a party on constitutional amendment, of which should the press statement, we said we recognize the significance of constitutional reforms. Some constitutional reforms might come with positive impact to our people, because as a party, we believe that people, anything that is being done in the management of the country should impact the common person. However, the timing is wrong. The government should have priorities. The priorities are that at the moment of course controlled shedding, they need to resolve that issue. High prices of essential commodities, food, cooking oil, and all these things are beyond the affordability of over 80% of the people. All of us were affected. These are the issues that government should prioritize to resolve. After they resolve, we can look at one or two issues in the constitution. For us, out of those clauses, I think there's one clause which talks about if a candidate files nomination and then after he pulls out the election, the nomination should restart. That we can accept to be amended, because it's cost effective to the participant and the government to restart the process, so that once, if someone is in election, should proceed. That is okay. Other clauses are not okay, like removing the term limits of the mayors. We strongly feel that will bring about leaders who run out of ideas to manage others, because leadership is about. It's not an employment where you wait to retire. You can, when you serve one or two terms, you can leave others vibrant.
Sorry, correct me on the issue of the mayors. I thought the idea was to actually have limits for mayors.
No, they want to remove the limits. There are limits now, 2 terms for a mayor.
Okay.
So they want to remove. That is retrogressive.
Okay.
Yes, we oppose that. Then what we suggest that also MPs, it should apply. So
there should be term limits for MPs as well.
2 term limits, yes. So that someone serves, others can come in. Leadership is about giving back, creating impact, working for rigors. And if people are just running out of ideas and they are just contesting or continuing, it doesn't give room for young generation to come. They are talking about youth representation. Those are the factors that affect youths to be in leadership, because those who have made money, because they can use money to mobilize, they will continue than a youth who doesn't have the money. So we oppose that. On the delimitation, I wish to be clear that delimitation for some constituencies, I will cite some constituencies which I was briefed that they are too big, they are too vast, but we need to understand the population of those constituencies. We've got Kasempa, we've got Rufanyama and Nipongwe. They are quite vast. If they were divided into 2, it will bring about maybe service delivery, efficient and effective. But we can never start spending money when people are starving. We are advising the government to have a priority to look at the welfare of the people. A leader is someone who takes the interest of its citizens.
But the argument there on delimitation is that, look, it has to be done every 10 years by law. It's in the Constitution.
Yes, the Constitution.
The delimitation exercise has to be done every 10 years.
We should not be logical. We should also look at the priorities. What are the
So do we disregard the Constitution in this case?
Then
we'll be breaking the law.
No. It's the Constitution was made by Zambians, so they should send back to referendum.
At the moment, unless we amend that particular clause of the Constitution by law, we have to do what the law says.
So the issue is you send the constitutional amendment to referendum so that people now give their views. Vote yes or no.
It's not an issue of a referendum. It's an issue of it can be taken to Parliament, amend it. we're still going back to the issue of amending clauses of the Constitution.
See, taking to the Parliament is jumping steps. The best is we go to the referendum, people decide, yes, we need to amend, no, we don't need to amend because we are sleeping angry. If people say yes, you take it to Parliament, then the process continue, that process. We need to follow the formal process of doing things.
Maybe I should be asking you this. Educate me a bit. How do we go about having a referendum? Don't we go to Parliament to have that done?
To have a referendum...
educate us a bit.
Yeah, ECZ and the President can decide to have a referendum, and it can be sent to Parliament, a motion.
For enactment?
No, to vote if we need to go to, because a referendum is where we want to test the people if they are agreeable to what you want. The masses, yes, because the masses are the one who's supposed to endorse what you are doing, if it's right or wrong. Yes, we are not saying as a party, we are not saying it's wrong to do constitutional reforms. We are saying there is lack of prioritization of the needs of the citizens, because we have constant road shedding, which we think government should resolve before they go to constitution. We have got high cost of living, high cost of essential commodities. These are the things that are hammering the people. The cost of living is too high. The prices of minimum or staple food is too high. And how do people survive? So we expect government to prioritize to resolve that. Then they can bring the issue of the constitutional reforms.
But don't you think they are making a contingency plan whereby even the next person who is going to come in office will find the constitution amended in the same manner? So are you saying that it is a misplaced priority right now?
See, a leader...
Even for future use.
Okay, get me correct. The leader is someone who takes the interest of his followers seriously, because you need to assess what type of people you are governing. You have got 1 up to 10 problems, but those problems, they need to be given priority. Which is the highest priority? Is it constitutional amendment or lowering the cost of food, ensuring the electricity?
Sorry to cut you short. So should they neglect the constitutional amendment now and focus on other things?
What we are saying, what we are asking fairly to everybody, and with the interest of the people and the country, is that let them prioritize what is urgent need to be resolved. They still have this year up to April, they still have 12 months. If they can resolve the issue of high cost of living within 3 months or 6 months, then they can propose some reforms, which we think some clauses can come with. Because I've mentioned even the clauses which we think they are fair to the people. Yeah.
There's a lot of rhetorical talk about resolving the high cost of living. If you were in government today, in 90 days, as you alluded to, how would you resolve the high prices of mini-meal, cooking oil, and essential commodities? What would you do?
Especially mini-meal.
Yes. So the issue is we have got catalysts, economic catalysts that affect the cost of production, which triggers the high cost of essential commodities. These are fuel, these are electricity, and fertilizer. So what we are saying on fuel, I've already explained that. One, we need to check the taxes that are applicable, where they are buying from. We need to negotiate with companies which OPEC and other countries which produce crude oil, so that we get crude oil cheaper, and we remove taxes and ensure that we put some subsidies to cushion high cost of living within 90 days, so that we start finding now the long-term solution, which I also mentioned about crude oil reserve agency, ensuring that we are buying crude oil and purifying it here into finished goods. When it comes to road shedding, it's the same thing. We need to suspend export and ensure that within 90 days we've got constant running of electricity, so that small businesses, barber shop and all these salons and small businesses, welding and all that, they are able to weld within 90 days, as we are finding a long-term solution to ensure that we have constant supply of electricity. Those are the short-term measures. When it comes to fertilizer, we need to have fertilizer manufacturing plant in all 10 provincial centers, and we subsidize from production. So we look at ZNS. People are already on government payroll under ZNS. They go and involved in productivity of fertilizer, so that we remove the fixed cost of salaries and others, it will become cheaper, so that now people buy affordable fertilizers to ensure that we have people going into agriculture. Agriculture itself, we need to incentivize it to a level where we have got even small tractors being given free to the farmers. We go in rural areas and stop indiscriminate selling of land, so that people now venture into agriculture activities. We ensure that those who are producing and they are able to create jobs and pay taxes, they get incentive like free fertilizers, free seeds, and equipment, small tractors to help them.
Where would we get the money to buy and give free tractors?
So we are looking at taxing the mines at 40%, also telecom taxing them at 40%.
In other words, destabilize another industry.
We are not destabilizing. We want fair share of the wealth of the country. We can never fail. Currently, some minerals are not being taxed. We saw the circular. There's poor taxation of the mines. We are saying we need to tax them, because if we tax them 40% gross, they remain with 60%. They can easily make 30% or 20% profit. So Zambia, we need to get fair share of the money. We need to ensure that agriculture, we are exporting. We've got Congo, where they need a lot of food from Zambia, and other countries. Kenya, they need a lot of maize. We can grow a lot of maize through this country and export and gain in a revenue and create the account that I talked about, sovereign wealth fund, so that we've got money for other projects and diversification.
Now, don't you think it is impossible? Currently, Trump has raised tariffs, and Africa is affected as a continent. So with what you're saying, do you think...
We're not exporting to America. That is only happening to America. We're saying we export...
Africa is affected as well.
No, we export to our fellow Africans. Congo, Kenya, and all the other countries. We're exporting within Africa. We promote intertrade between ourselves as African. SADC, COMESA, those are the countries we're targeting.
Okay. Let's dive into corruption, the Anti-Corruption Commission, the ACC, and its efforts to fight corruption in the country. What is your take as the party?
The corruption fight which happens in this country, it creates a certain perception that maybe it's witch hunt, because when corruption is currently happening, like in all governments, we don't hear it. But when people lose power, that's when we hear it. Oh, that one stole this. So it's like a witch hunt of vengeance. That's the perception it creates. We need to know corruption when it's happening. But it's practically impossible, because people are appointed. These anti-corruption commission are appointed by the president. So they are loyal to the governing party, in short. The governing party appoints people working in corruption. This is the reason we're saying we need to change. We need to have transformation in terms of how these people are recruited who are managing the foresight institutions which are fighting corruption and crime. If we can recruit them professionally, and they are also subjective to a certain independent body which supervises how they carry on their duties, and they have clear performance indicators, so that they are not compromised. Because when someone is appointed, is loyal to one who appointed him. But when you are professionally recruited, you are working the job as expected, and this will help, because we need to fight corruption when it is happening, not after so many years when it happens. That way it shows some vacancy.
Mr. Cheba, are you saying that the current board that is sitting in the DEC, the ACC, the FIC is being influenced by the current government when it comes to fighting corruption?
Integrity is compromised because of appointments. So if I appoint someone, it's very difficult for that person to fight me when I'm wrong. Yes,
but one would argue that, look, appointments are done the world over. The FBI director is appointed by the U.S. president. In many other countries, appointments are made at that level.
No. In other countries, like in U.S., they've got a Senate, and they've got...
So why shouldn't the argument be, let's strengthen the oversight from the parliamentary side?
Yeah, we need to strengthen the oversight institution. This is the reason I mentioned about an independent body.
Well, Parliament is that.
Now in Zambia, you see, the problem is that our democracy evolves around, mostly in Parliament, you find that there are two parties which have got MPs. And and there's no another body apart from Parliament. In America, we've got Congress, we've got Senate. So we need to have another oversight institution that regulate this police, FIC, and corruption tech, where they vet people properly. They are the body that on daily basis they monitor the performance and they ensure that corruption is being fought instant when it's happening. Because the biggest problem we have and where Zambians we are losing is that corruption is not fought when it's happening. Most of the time we don't even hear about it. But when people move out of power, that's when we hear about it, because there is like a retribution involved also in the way to fight corruption is try to finish your competitor. We have seen this.
This is Voice of the People on the Power Breakfast. Our guest this morning, Sydney Chiawa, who's a Democratic National Party leader. As we wind down this particular segment of the show, what are your expectations as we prepare for the general elections next year? And most importantly, where do you see your party being positioned as we head into the elections?
As we head to election, I formed this party to participate in election and help to transform the country. It's TNP that is in a good hand now to ensure that we liberate the people from the endless poverty and endless indebtedness. We are a party of high credibility and integrity. We are issue-based party and we offer practical solution. We expect people to vote leaders on merit and on quality. This issue of voting leaders on tribe, on handouts, because you have been given handouts, or composing songs, or wind, will not take us this country anywhere. People should reflect that they've elected various leaders and they've been awarded with a lot of misery than good. So the good of what people they elect, the biggest enemy that Zambia and Zambian people has is the same leader they elect. These are the enemies who create poverty, who don't represent our interest as Zambians to acceptable levels where we can end unemployment, where we can end poverty. They are the ones who make wrong decisions about us. They don't even feel empathy about us. Currently, a lot of people have got challenge to buy the staple food. We have seen leaders, they've got no empathy to ensure that people have access to food. A leader is someone who works for his legacy, create positive impact to more than 80% of his followers or his people. So we appeal to the voters that make a right decision, vote people on merit. When you do that, people are going to work for you. But if you don't vote on merit, it's a problem. This problem will continue up to 2031. Democratic National Party is the party that is in the right position to act and to ensure that we implement what is practical. Our plea is to have total independence for Zambian people. We are Zambians. We are the majority players in our economy, so that we can create those decent jobs and the wealth is coming to us, as opposed to continue cry for investors, cry for donor funds. We don't even know where our money is used, because donors have been funding. U.S. Ambassador, His Excellency Ambassador Gonzalez has told us that Zambia are given $8 billion. When you are given $8 billion, even not at a go, you have been given, that is not the money that we have worked for. We don't expect to have load shedding, to have many solar plants.
Well, in fairness, that money was primarily for the health sector.
Yes, but have we seen improvement in health sector? We saw Japan upgrading the clinics. It's Japan aid.
Well, the 8 billion is from consistent aid year after year. So
for how many years?
But there's imagine.
Still you are given.
Yes. But we don't.
Let them show us the results.
But we don't expect handouts to sort out load shedding.
If your people are responsible, you can say, okay, America are giving us money to do with health. Okay, we think health we've managed. Can we use this to energy? I don't think America.
Let's get back to the issue. Do you intend to do you intend to field candidates? You know, the 150
yes.
constituencies.
All 156 constituencies we are fielding MPs, councillors, and mayors. So we are appealing to all the people to come to our party and stand on our party and help contribute positively to your country through transformation agenda of ensuring that we are self-reliant, we are developed, we are economically the majority managing our economy, and we ensure that the perennial problems are resolved through practical and proactive leadership of ensuring that all the problems that have failed to be resolved are resolved, and we remain indebtedness free so that we operate within our working capital, our budget, so that we can address our problems. So we appeal to all the people who have got heart for their country. For us, this party is formed to help the poor, the people, and the country. We've got no hidden agenda. It's just to help. We have seen that there is no party which can do what is necessary to end the continuous problems, because we project that the problem that Zambia faces is forever. The population is growing. We are around 20 million people. It's projected 50 years from now, the population might be double. We are struggling now. What about when the population grows? We are irresponsible to land. We sell foreigners land easily in customary areas where you're supposed to be cultivating. All of us who are living in town, it's not land we sought to survive. We expect people to use their brains to generate revenue. This is the reason we are saying we are going to ensure that every person is upskilled, skilled to provide a service and earn a living. This is the reason now our government has got benefit. Land, it's your birthright. You get free land for your farm, for your plot. You get startup capitals ranging from 5,000 kwacha to maximum 100,000 kwacha. You'll be trained so that you manage how to do business and to grow your business. And we will ensure that you do benchmarking with other countries. You learn the best practices so that you replicate the same. We need Zambians in these 5 sectors that Democratic National Party is planning to do heavy industry: mining, technology, agriculture, energy, telecoms, and we need Zambians to be the major players.
And Fortress, we'll have the final question, and we'll give you a minute to answer that final question.
Okay, so in a minute, tell us your manifesto.
Our manifesto is available. I will share with you so that you go through. But in a nutshell, our vision is accelerated development for economic realization of all Zambians, liberate and transform Zambia into a developed and self-reliant country. Our goal is to gain total economic independence for Zambia and Zambian people. And we expect that once this is achieved, Zambians will be economically thriving through their country, through various empowerments and efforts that are addressing the problems that we have. It means we will not be borrowing money, so indebtedness will not continue to us. A person who always borrow money, even in individual capacity, he cannot develop, because whenever you gain money, you have to think about the payment. Democratic National Party says that is no.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Our guest this morning, Mr. Sidney Chiawa, Democratic National Party leader. Many thanks for coming through this morning.
Thank you for inviting me, and let me take this opportunity to offer my condolences to our gallant former finance minister and the president of FDD, Honorable Edith Nawakwi, that it is sad that we've lost. She was the only woman who was trying to fight to ensure that there is a change for the people. Any person who is good, if you see we are forming parties, we are becoming leaders. To me, we are leaders who are trying to represent your interest. She did her part, and we offer condolences to the family, and God guidance, things move well. Yeah, we offer that condolences. She did well, and we expect Zambians not to be shy. This is our country, it's our thinking, it's us Zambian who can develop it, not those foreign investors who just come to look for money, you cry for them.
Many thanks indeed, Mr. Sidney Chiawa, Democratic National Party leader. Be sure to catch up Voice of the People every single weekday from 7:45.
Turn up your radio. Turn up your radio.